Hello, my name's Owen and welcome to the JOL Wedding Podcast. Join myself and my co-host Caroline as we bring you all the inspiration and advice you need whilst planning your wedding. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the JOL Wedding Podcast. Today we've got quite an entertaining episode. We've got the boys from Lazy Marmalade here. How are you guys? You alright?
Hello.
Very well.
Right,
Thanks for having us.
It's all right.
It's great to have you on. You know, we've worked with each other quite a few times. Well, obviously, you've worked with, my mum and dad quite a lot. How's this year kind of looking for you guys?
Very good. Yeah. Same as kind of the last couple of years, really. You know, peak periods.
Steady.
Yeah, peak periods are absolutely chocker, and then it's filling the gaps in between. But it's it's good. It's comfortable.
Quite
nice.
quiet right now, and then obviously, I'm guessing back end of April, it's just going to go straight through the roof.
It started to pick up now. It's kind of a steady start to the year for us. But
you travel everywhere. So
Everywhere.
we're mainly quite local. So Shropshire, Paris, Cheshire, Staffordshire. We may go a little bit further afield, but you go everywhere. So I don't know.
we try to,
Try to. Yeah.
if logistics allow.
Yeah. Obviously, it depends on what we have in the calendar and when.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't travel.
Yeah.
You know, to the Lake District if we've got
One down in
something on.
London.
Yeah, exactly. So it has to kind of work.
We've not got
Logistically.
we've not got any sort of overseas or anything this year, have we? It's quite a local year.
We
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
Is that a dream? Do you do quite a lot of overseas?
We get a lot more inquiries for them than we do take them.
Yeah.
We get a lot of inquiries, but generally
the cost
the
involved.
costs involved, because if it comes on a weekend, you're losing a whole weekend, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then some.
That could be 3-4
Yeah.
bookings.
And often,
Exactly.
You're missing out.
you're already booked on. If you're booked on the Thursday and the
Yeah.
wedding's on a Saturday,
Yeah.
you've got to allow the time for the logistics. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't make it work. So generally, we tend to only be able to take them when it's weekdays or if it's with enough notice.
Yeah.
If it comes
Yeah.
in with enough notice, we can make it work.
Yeah.
But no, we've got sort of Scotland and
Northern
Ireland and
Ireland
stuff.
next year.
That's cool.
Mm.
But yeah, we've not got any other. It's just a lot of car miles really this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, in England. good old
than
England.
plane miles. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
So obviously with you guys, with me, it's literally just me. Or obviously if you and Dad, you're together all the time. But obviously you guys do have separate lives. But then you've got to come together and collab on obviously working together. So it's understandable when you've got to make it work for both of you as well. Because if say you're doing something different or you got something a family thing on, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's just having that balance between, isn't it? Trying to work through that.
we know each other inside out. Fortunately for us.
Sounds
So
well.
we're very business minded in terms of how we should try and like make
Manage
it work
our
for
time.
ourselves as well. But like
we don't just take everything as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are quite
Selective.
we're selective over managing our calendar.
Yeah.
because we do need to have lives outside of the band.
This is it. Yeah. So
Even
how
though-
long have you been together as a
As
band?
our relationship.
As a band.
as Lazy Marmalade.
Lazy Marmalade was like 2017,
Yeah.
2016.
Okay.
But yeah, as a wedding, we started like me and John have been in bands since we were like 14, 15 in
Yeah.
one variation or other. With
Not wedding bands.
No, we
like-
tried. We
No,
tried
yeah.
to be rock stars
yeah,
for a while.
yeah.
And then we did this in 2017, but it was just sort of born as like we were like an indie,
We hadn't been in a
indie
band
duo.
for a while, and we kind of missed it.
just playing pubs and stuff really.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballed into weddings really. A few people asked us could we
Do it
play
at
weddings,
weddings.
and then it just
Yeah,
Just let us go for it. And
yeah. But we've grown that time. The fact that like
the change.
we've developed our sound and everything else to kind of hone it all down to what it is now.
Yeah.
Like before, like we probably look at some of the videos when we first did it, like a couple of pub gigs and think, oh god, that's not very good. Even though it probably was.
That goes everywhere. That goes everywhere. When you look at one of our first weddings, you think, oh my God, what were we thinking?
Well, you've grown with a lot more experience.
Yeah.
So it's the same with me. I mean, I started 2 years ago. I look at the videos I did 2 years ago compared to what I'm kind of producing now. It's a complete different
probably
quality.
say the same in another 2-3 years time.
Yeah. You do always evolve, though, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
And also, you've got your own, like you say, you've got your own sound as well. So you're staying true to that, and then knowing what songs suit your sound, and then developing those, I suppose.
Yeah. Well,
sound like I know what I'm saying about.
Honestly,
I don't.
It's true. I mean, we are essentially playing other people's songs.
Yes,
that's But we do try and we do put a lot of effort into making them sound unique to us. As corny as that sounds.
Yeah.
Because just being the two of us, it could quite easily be very boring.
Yeah.
If we didn't.
Yeah.
But we enjoy the songs that we play, even though we might not necessarily like the original incarnation of said song. Half the time it's the ones that are like that we enjoy playing the most. I do anyway. Sometimes if
something you can't listen to on the radio but you love
if we do a song that we actually like in the real world or the original recording, chances are I probably won't like it as much as silly as it sounds. But we do have a good time in doing that. But say, like as Alex said, we don't, every song that we do, we always try and make it our own.
Yeah,
we kind of get the basis of the song and then kind of cut a lot of the chaff, because there's lots of, we know that people like in the crowd, they want to hear the words that we're singing, and there's loads of like instrumental bits, and it's like you want to get people dancing, because people, like anybody, like you kind of, if there's a 10-minute intro of a song or something that in the original thing, we're not going to do that because people will lose interest.
Yeah,
so we gotta,
completely.
We got to kind of get to the
that's kind
chorus.
That's kind of the beauty of having a live band, is that they can like I suppose like a good DJ, a live band can cut and change things to make it keep flowing. That's what we aim for anyway.
So this is last year for us, I think it's probably one of our biggest weddings. Loads of people had bands.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. I think we've seen you quite a few times actually last year and over the last couple of years as well. So I think when couples are now starting to plan and they're thinking about their evening entertainment, or even all day, because obviously you guys, the last one we did together, you were there near enough all day, weren't you? Yeah. So all through the drinks reception, then through and did some of the DJing for the evening, and then obviously you did your sets as well. So you're there all day. So it's like a big thing, isn't it? Entertainment for people to start thinking about when they're planning a wedding.
It's a big chunk of the day, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we do get a lot of people that will book. I mean, obviously, we're in a very fortunate position that they do it, but a lot of people will hear us online, and then they will say, okay, and they'll work their wedding around us. That's not all weddings, of course.
No.
But it just shows how important music is to people within the day.
I think
because it sets a vibe, I think.
Completely, and I think that's what people remember as well. So when people are obviously planning weddings, when you think about obviously your venue, that's big key.
Of course,
and then obviously your food, because obviously that's what people remember: is your venue, your food, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. So if you can get that crowd going, and you have got that dance floor flowing all night, then that is some sort of party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What you don't want to be doing is playing to rooms where they're just not engaging or anything like that.
No, for sure. But I think, I mean, generally as a rule, I think people that book like a live band or a really good DJ, they're kind of generally up for it, because they've, the fact that they've gone out of their way to seek good entertainment is because they want to have a good party. I mean, there's always, there's always the odd one that isn't like that. I'm spilling coffee everywhere. Generally people are
they know.
Yes. You book a party band because you want to have a party, don't you?
This is it. You know your family, your friends, the people who are coming to your evening, and you know how to entertain those people. The people thinking, actually, I'm a band person, I like going out and listening to bands and things like that. So having that in the wedding and getting that party, like that party atmosphere, that's what they're wanting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I like to think that maybe because we're not even though we are a duo, we class ourselves as a band.
Yes.
You know, but the kind of sound that we deliver, and as far-fetched as it sounds, it has been quoted, and we say so ourselves, that even though it's just the two of us, the sound that we produce does sound like a 3 or 4 piece band.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's without that faff of having like a live, like we use electronic drums to kind of give the bass drum and like a tambourine / snare kind of thing to keep that beat going.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of reduces any sort of like, because, you know, being in a lot of venues are kind of smallish, to have a live drummer in it's piercing, and it's like it's too much, and it's like people can't, and the sound just goes everywhere. With us, we kind of hone it down so we know what it's at. And like a lot of venues have sound limiters and sound restrictions nowadays, but we can work with that, and we don't have the restriction of, oh, you can't have live drums because of that. Like we wouldn't all through one system, and we can turn it up or down as a whole, but it still sounds good.
Yeah.
You know?
So obviously to our listeners now, that when you're looking about venues, a lot of venues now have limiters. So if you've got a DJ or a band, they can only play up to a certain decibel. Because obviously, if it's a hotel venue, you've got people sleeping in other rooms.
Yeah.
So they have to have it quieter. If you've got a more rural venue, you've got things like neighbours. That, especially if you've got the doors open, keep on opening. The sound's going out and the wind's carrying it out. It's going to annoy a lot of the guests.
Well, if you think of, say, peak summer, where it is really hot, people have got the windows open because it is so hot. Trying to get that air through your house. But if you live right next to a wedding venue, the venue have probably got doors open and everything.
Because of the same thing.
You've got exact same thing. So the sound travels. So you've got to make sure everyone around the wedding venue is happy.
Yes. So a lot of venues now have got limiters. So obviously it reaches a certain decibel. So when you start planning your wedding, thinking about, definitely fancy a live band. You want that party atmosphere. Think about your venue, have they got limiters, and then think about obviously your band, like you say, that you guys, you can hone that sound down, so that's fine. We've spoken to other bands and gone, it's an absolute nightmare. We cannot do anything because they've got obviously more people, like you say, live drums as well.
I think it's definitely it's not at every venue, but it's at most venues.
It only takes one person
and it's
10 miles away to complain.
More. And we speak to a lot of venues, and they because of our setup, like, it is controlled on one mixer, so we can. There's no acoustic. Well, there is acoustic guitars, but there's no like acoustic percussion. So it does. That's what resonates through the venue. And you speak to venues, and a lot of venues will be surprised by how accommodating we are with keeping the volume down. And I think that's a key thing with like booking bands, whether people are looking to book a band, whether they're looking to book us or anybody. Any band. The difference in booking a wedding band that's suitable for your venue, as opposed to just a band that you've heard that you like. You know, when you work with weddings a lot, you do get used to these little issues, and you're able to overcome them. Whereas just your average pub band or just a band that you've heard may not. They'll turn up with the equipment that they would for every gig. And there is like a business side of it that we didn't. Well, we know it now, but when you start, you think, you just go and play when it's like playing another gig. But it's not like playing another gig. You know, the logistics. When you play another gig, you have got a set time that you start at. You know, when we play a wedding, you're hanging on for sometimes 30, 40 minutes before you get to start that first set because everything overruns.
Or even just going to set up.
Exactly.
Even just going to set up.
So I think that's the thing that we've got down to an art now, I think, is being able to be flexible with venues.
And I think that's a huge key, because especially going to photography, you can have an amazing photographer that does wildlife or sport or something like that, and then you take them and go, actually, you're an amazing photographer, can you come and do my wedding?
Definitely.
Now that's fine, because he can go and sit in a field and wait for birds of prey or something like that. Can he really get 100 people out on the lawn literally as quick as possible, because it's going to rain, to get that group shot?
That's two completely different things. Like I say, wildlife, you're literally sat there
waiting,
quiet as a mouse, trying to wait for something.
Yeah.
But on a wedding day, you have to be loud. You have to be heard
people,
and move people around. Otherwise, they ain't gonna listen to you.
No, and the same with you. So, like what you said about having a normal pub band, if they do that day in day out, and then go into a wedding venue where there is restrictions, knowing, again, it's very different, isn't it? You know, your bride and groom are counting on you to get that party started. Where in a pub or something like that, sometimes your background noise and people are just chatting and listening to you.
It goes both ways, you know. I mean, we do play some pubs and stuff, but we are our setup and our sound and the way we work is definitely better suited to weddings. Yeah. That, you know, there's people that can play in a pub and they're way more comfortable in that environment than we are. So it does go both ways. Yeah. But it's about knowing what your strengths are, and our sound and our setup and the way our sets are sort of set up. Yeah. They have now, like I say, when we started, the last sort of 5 years have been basically just making them as optimizing them for weddings, basically. And that's where I do think that
there's a professional side to it as well. It's like we take pride in what we do and like the service that we provide. Definitely. And there's other people who do something similar to us who would take and they charge half the price or whatever, but that's because you're not getting the service. Like, you know, for a ceremony, we will learn 3 songs as a standard, like your bride walk down the aisle and first sign the register and exit song. And like, there's no doubt, like I wouldn't even dream of, like, we've heard stories of people who say, who book their thing and say, can you play this song for me walking down the aisle? Yeah, that's fine. And then they don't bother learning it, and then it's like, I wouldn't ever. No, oh, it just doesn't bear thinking about. But like, there's that side of it as well. It's like we, you know, even in terms of emails and everything else, it's like you respond in a
we run it as a business.
Yeah. Exactly, we run it as a business, and it's not just like, oh, we turn up and we just play the songs and then just go. No, it's everything before. You know, it's not like yourselves where you have the things after. Like, once the wedding is kind of finished, we don't have any post kind of thing to do. But everything before, and we make sure we have all the information that we need, and you know, and if we don't, we make sure we get it.
But it'll be the same to you guys.
There
is things like that. It's not just about the product you deliver. It is, but within that product is the other
service,
things.
Everything.
Because everything with weddings is about fee. I mean, it's a lot of money that you pay for suppliers a long time out. You need to have a trust. You need to be able to be comfortable that, you know, the people that are going to turn up on your day, are going to turn up, but they're also going to turn up and deliver everything that they are saying, and that's
and what you want.
And just running things professionally and just being like just approachable, decent people as well. It gives people a comfort that you actually are not gonna.
We've always said throughout the whole podcast about trust.
We've spoken about relationships all through the podcast between suppliers and suppliers and other suppliers, the couple, the venue as well. Just making sure everyone communicates. It just helps the day kind of go.
So how do clients actually go to start thinking about hiring a band? Where do they go? Because obviously there's so many bands out there, so many different styles, so many different styles of music. Where do clients actually think about, actually, I need to find a band?
It varies really. I mean, we get a lot of inquiries that have come through sort of word of mouth.
Venue recommendations maybe.
But there
goes through Instagram or
TikTok. Well, this is it. There is a lot of. I mean, we do get stuff through Google as well, quite a lot. People just search, I guess, you know,
wedding bands
near me, or wedding band, you know,
or live music for wedding. There's so many different things.
Keywords.
And then you know, we talked briefly before we started, but you know, TikTok, Instagram, and stuff. The last 12 months, we've got a lot more through sort of TikTok than we have through, you know, it used to be Facebook, and then people find you through different platforms. Generally, people just see your promotional videos, and then they find out more, I guess. But yeah, I'd say probably our most solid and consistent is sort of word of mouth or venue recommendation.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what helps. I mean, we were saying before, for photographers, for Instagram, and because that's becoming more video based. And TikTok, which is completely video based, pretty much. It is hard for, say, a photographer to do something, but for you guys, even for myself, it's our content to show us is mainly video. Obviously, mine is completely video, but that's where people are going to see us a lot more online rather than kind of word of mouth or wedding fairs is a great thing to do.
Yeah, but even though things like when you're going to look at venues and you look at the suppliers list and see what bands are being recommended, then you can go, right, actually there's a list. I'm going to go check out which style I like.
Yeah, of course.
Because obviously we know so many bands locally. I remember we did one last year and the band actually came from Northern Ireland, but they'd been playing in Scotland the day before. So they travelled from Scotland down to, and it was all very like Irish folk festive type of, but they were absolutely amazing.
They're the DJ as well, so they kind of, when they weren't playing, then
they were sleeping probably.
But I think they only stayed until they stayed for about an hour.
They didn't stay, I think they did 2 sets, but they did them quite close together. Because like again, when you start planning your evening reception, how does it work to things like your sets? How many sets do you do? Obviously, we know you do DJing as well, so you can fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
So how does it work for bands?
I'd say take us from the start, kind of all the way through what you offer through different times of the day.
Yeah. Well, we have different packages available. I guess to segregate them, you've got evening only. Like we include a complimentary DJ service bar from ourselves included. So you've got an evening package and you've got a daytime and evening, which is drinks receptions, performances, and also the evening package.
Yeah.
Solely daytime, so that's ceremony and drinks reception, or then the whole shebang, so ceremony, drinks reception, and the evening, including the DJ.
Yeah, imagine that's a long day for you guys.
It is, but it always goes like fast.
When we're sitting away for food and having a good chat.
Exactly.
Yeah. You always catch the bride and groom and they say sort of 5 o'clock. So, I can't believe it's 5. And weddings, they just they go into the time doesn't exist at weddings. I think.
No.
But yeah, so generally, like for in terms of a timeline, if it was a full day, we'd do sort of like 15, 20 minutes before while the guests are getting seated.
Yeah.
We then perform through the ceremony, out and do the drink reception. We tend to do 2 30 minutes or 2:45, depending on what package.
Yeah.
And provide background music for that. In between those sets. That's our strip back. So if you like go online, it's the video where I'm playing like I'm hitting a wooden box, I'm playing the cajon. It's that sort of strip. Oh, you guys.
We did that last year. And I think that's what I love, because like you say, you can do the shebang it in the evening, but then you can really low key it for the drinks reception, which the one we did last year at Holly Nino, Stockton House. It was nice because everyone was out on the terrace, on the lawn, having drinks, and it was so nice and relaxed that you've got you guys playing there. So again, your entertainment's not just for your evening; it can go all the way through the day.
Yeah, it does feel like, because especially if you're outside, it's just going to be like a speaker probably playing. It is nice to have that live music element instead, especially when it's outside as well.
Because they do fly by, but if you break them down, weddings, there is a lot of time. There is a lot of time. Not always. Sometimes there's no time. There doesn't feel like there's any spare time. But essentially, if you're a guest and you're not necessarily involved in all of the photos and stuff, there can sometimes feel like there is a lot of time that the bride and groom need to fill.
Yeah.
But it's surprising how just having like live music or and alongside that stuff like magicians and stuff, or they can help just blend everything together, and it works really well. Sometimes it's the complete opposite. Sometimes you play weddings and there isn't the time for the different things, and you've got to get them in. Because that's obviously what the bride and groom envisage. That's what they want. And then they work, but in a completely different way. It almost gives a slightly different feel to the day. Where it's like it's a lot more fast paced, and I think everybody gets to the end of the night and they go,
wow,
yeah,
yeah.
But so they all have their sort of benefits, and I just think it's important to know exactly what you want. I think that the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes people can think, I want this, and feel like they need everything, rather than looking at their wedding as a whole and saying, this is what we want to create, this is what we want to do, and that might not be a band in the daytime, that might just be a band in the evening or just a DJ in the evening, but it's important to know what you want. Before you just get loads of quotes, because sometimes you can get a quote and you can think, oh well, that's only 200 quid for a magician or whatever to come in the day, and it's sometimes you add in things just because. And it can sometimes end up being a little bit too much. But in the same way, it can also fill those gaps and make it really, a really nice day.
There's a gap in the day, obviously, as you guys know. But basically, there's that gap between after wedding breakfast, before the evening really kind of starts. And sometimes a lot of people think that they need something, like we've had like quote requests before saying, like, if they want us for the evening, like can you also do something between that post wedding breakfast prior to the evening starts? Like, we can't, because that's our setting up time. But but also weddings are social events, and by that time everyone's kind of had a drink, they're all kind of getting a bit like everyone's just talking anyway. So
it is important to have those breathing times.
It is about a good 2 hours almost.
I think this is the thing that on our first podcast with Amelia, we were saying about how you want your day to flow, and do you want that nice relaxed day that everyone's chilling outside, having drinks, everything like that, or do you want it quite fast paced? So a lot of venues quite like it where you come get married, every wedding breakfast, that turnaround time is literally as your evening guests come in. So basically you opt for maybe a 2 o'clock wedding where by the time you've eaten your wedding breakfast, your evening guests are coming. Which then is very fast paced, because then you're setting up and everything like that. But I personally, I love that hour that you've got that lull, because a lot of people, like you say, they've eaten far too much, they've drunk quite a bit. They want to go and check into their rooms, they want to go and freshen up. It gives the bride and groom that hour they can really talk to other people as well, because like I say, it's so quick, the wedding day goes like that. Having those moments throughout the day where you can just go and breathe,
take a breather, and
actually
have conversations,
and even just as a couple, that you can just go, actually, should we just go back to a room and just go and freshen up for half an hour?
And though not always, because as I say, every wedding is different, but often when there is that breathing room, it allows for the evening. It gives people a chance to catch their breath. To let the evening be. What you want it to be, essentially. I mean, every you guys know, every group of people is different, and there's some people that will just go from word go to about an hour after you finish. And there's no stopping them. But some people, it does allow, giving them that break does allow them to sort of catch their breath and have a really social evening, rather than feeling sort of 8-9 o'clock that they've had enough and they've run out of steam.
They're burned out.
Because
gives you a chance to give that second window, doesn't it?
Speaking of things that kind of happen through that lull, obviously we've got a kind of a special thing that we kind of do when we do photography, is we bring our TV screen along. Obviously you guys have seen it with all the photos on. And that is kind of a nice relaxing kind of thing to have during that kind of lull.
They can just view the photos through the day and things like, and also as your evening guests come, they can start seeing and seeing what's happened through the day. But obviously you got your sets, things like that. And do you work? Obviously, you do a DJ package as well. So obviously, you work with quite a few DJs as well that are separate. Maybe as part of the venue.
If they're part of the venue, then that's
the reason. When we first started, we were just a live band. The reason we do the DJ is we kind of years gone kind of done a little bit of DJing here and there, and it was more. It allows the whole evening to flow better. You're thinking of the indie nights.
No, I was going to say, we like done it in IB.
No.
Not really.
Cream.
Yes, Amnesia. But kind of.
I can't remember what I was saying now. Good job.
Yeah.
So we do the DJ.
So we do the DJ because it allows us to have a little bit more control over how the evening flows. when you work with DJs, you don't want to step on each other's toes. So
No.
Space issues.
in terms of space issues, songs, you don't want to hear the same songs all night.
Yeah, as in what
and also
you just play 2 or 3 and then they play it this in the next set.
Yeah. That's
and it allows us to just sort of, come out of our sets and know what we're going to start, what sort of vibe we're going to go with the DJ. And it just allows us to let everything flow better, really.
Yeah.
We can work with DJs, and we do work with DJs. Generally, it's in-house DJs, or if people are really into like electronic music or stuff like that, and they want, a professional, they want a real like house DJ, or they want a garage set from someone, because what we provide is a full. It's the same as what you'd get from any other sort of mobile wedding DJ. It's a full.
It is. It's not just you tune up, press and play.
Which is within a lot of bands do offer that service. It's almost an iPod service. But it is a proper DJ.
It is. Yeah, we've seen.
But at the same time, we're not Fatboy Slim. We're not going to do a full hour and a half house set. It's a completely different. That's a completely different trade in itself. So sometimes people want that alongside the live music. But that's fine.
That's brilliant, because obviously we do photography and videography together.
Yeah.
So you're booking 2 services. For one company.
Yeah.
And then obviously that works better. So if you can do the DJ and the band, it's just so much more simpler for bride and groom to organise.
I think, to be honest, that's been half of why we've got so many bookings. Because people see that we're a good band. I hope
you are a good band.
Great band.
But then also the best band ever.
No, back yourself.
If Carling did bands,
back yourself.
Well,
if Carling did bands.
Technically, we're not even a band; we're a duet, as our friends call us.
Duet,
but no, I think the ease and the simplicity of booking us, because we provide the DJ and we can provide the whole package. I think that's why we've got ahead as quickly as we have. I mean, we started this in 2017. By 2019, we had a full season. We were working full time, and then when COVID obviously happened, and the world ended. And then 2021 we came straight out of that and went full time into it. So when we first started this, we didn't think in that time frame. I know it seems like a long time frame, but weddings, everything's booked so far ahead. That doesn't seem like a lot of time.
No.
Quite a lot's happened in that period of time. And I think that a lot of that is down to, obviously, of course, what we provide, but I think the whole package, the fact that people can book us as one entity and not have to worry about it, that's quite encouraging, I think, for people to.
And it also works that they don't have to. So it's like if they want someone else in the day, like a violinist or something, then they can just book us for the evening, and they're still getting a party band, and it's not like it's not like we do the same style in the drink reception that we do in the evening.
No, it's not. It is. Like I said before, obviously the one at Stockton House that we did together, it was a really nice low chill vibe outside.
Well, it was an English Serbian wedding, which we've obviously they had Rick the butler, didn't they? Because Serbians are very, very relaxed in their culture. Too relaxed
sometimes. They were saying
weddings.
That it happens when it happens, and if they go 3 hours over, they go 3 hours over. So So again, like you say, you will arrive to venues, and we know when weddings will run over. They normally do.
If we're shocked if they don't.
Yes, this is it. So how do you, obviously then, if things are running over, how do you work around that then? Because obviously you need to set up, you need to test and do all your sound checks and things like that.
Whilst the photographers and the videographers are shouting at us to go down.
If they want to go home. To be fair, our standard, how it should work at a wedding, let's just say a typical blanket one.
The ideal.
If it's just an evening, we get there about 6 o'clock. Takes us, we allow ourselves an hour and a half to set up. It all depends on the venues. It's like if we have to park up and then load in our gear half a mile away, or up a million flights of stairs, it's going to take longer. But we always, say we do this like near enough every week, so we know what plugs go where. Thankfully.
You don't.
I don't.
You've been doing it for years.
All labels.
That's it. Getting the wrong way around. But like we can tend to get it up pretty quick, get it set up pretty fast. So we always allow that thing. So if it does well, if it does overrun, we have to do it later. Then we can. But sometimes, like, we can't just magic.
You're talking realistically. Even if it's the quickest turnaround ever, with loading in the gear, getting everything set up, getting ready to go.
Yeah.
You're talking at an hour, really, aren't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it all depends on access to the room. Like, and obviously, most venues you're eating in the same room. You're gonna turn
set up.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it will start later, but then you can account for it in the rest of the evening because there's between the two sets there's always the bit where there's the food and stuff. So you can make up time later down the line. Obviously, sometimes, I mean, I don't think it's ever happened where it's generally only about 45 minutes is the latest, really.
Yeah.
And then we just got to not talk to each other and just crack on and get it
Just
set
get
up as
it
quick
done.
as we can. And often it's that we finish setting up and then it's straight into the first dance and then the evening.
But that's also the advantage with having a band like us is that we have our kind of also selling point as well as we don't take up very much space because it's not a full band. And
you're little, hence our way on a little chair.
Like we've fitted some proper small spaces, haven't we? Talking about the band. But
you're going to get the wrong idea. Innuendo bingo.
Yeah, but like if say you get a full band there, they've got a drum kit to load in and stuff like it's funny. Like we did a local gig at Albert Shed in Telford with the band Scarburst.
Oh yeah.
And it's like obviously we used to do the full band stuff, and like I was a drummer and I loaded in the thing, and like when they're doing all the loading in and stuff, it's like, Christ, is it like it feels
Look
like
at
it
all
takes
the kit.
an age, and like it's like it's like how quick it kind of really showed us how quickly we do turn things around, which is perfect for weddings because I say like it's just everything is on like a schedule, and half time the schedule's late. So you got to try and make up some time.
It's all about flexibility, isn't it?
Yeah, and we are extreme. Like we
and
never
it's the same
say
with you guys.
You
know, you've also got the factors of Mother Nature. You know, you're not only up against the schedule, you're up against the light
and
it's being flexible and being able to work with other suppliers as well. To make sure everybody gets their little bit. That gets to do what they've been booked for. And they're there to do. But also allows the data
to flow as well.
Harmony.
Yeah. But so that's what we're trying. Like, if there is time to be saved, like we'll always try and So
one thing that obviously for clients now, couples that are planning weddings, that is another thing to factor in. So a lot of venues that we go to, you could be in different rooms. So I love a venue where you've got the bar, the DJ, the band, the dance floor, all in one room. Because that's really good to get in. You know that you'll always get that. I was at Peter Kay sketch where he goes, "Oh, that was on." And he's there dancing dancing to get to the dance floor. And I love that. But obviously, when you've got some venues where you've got a bar in a different room, and then obviously entertainment and the dance floor in another room, and then you've got a lounge where other people just having a chat. Is that hard to get? And even some like 100%. Summer as well, like we've done weddings where it's been absolutely roasting and they don't want to be inside. They want to be outside because it's 100%. A beautiful evening, and like, oh no, we're just sitting on the lawns.
We go through all of winter and we're like, I can't wait for sunshine. And then the sun comes and it's the biggest dance floor killer, short of maybe smash glasses.
Everyone would do the same. Like I would.
You would.
It's beautiful outside. Like you'd go and sit outside,
but this is it. It's about. It's like what I was saying earlier about the pub band, the difference and stuff. It's knowing how to sort of manage those lulls, because not every single minute of the evening is going to be heaving on the dance floor.
No.
But it's being able to, as a band, being able to manage that and still keep the atmosphere there. Like you say, venues where it's scattered and there's people, that's probably one of the hardest ones because it's hard to engage people when they're not there. But I think it's just about managing your sets, and sometimes if it is like that and it's really sunny,
you might start like half an hour later and go, actually,
later,
you would
or
just...
maybe shorten the first set and make the second set longer and play
because it's going to get cold anyway.
Yeah. And eventually,
they will come in.
Will win.
Yeah, and they will come in then, won't they? So as soon as it starts getting dark, people will start coming in, and that's when you think, well, actually, I'll make my first set that a little bit shorter, add it on to my second set when I know people will be inside.
It's the same with like food. If the beginning of the evening is delayed, the caterers still want to serve at the same time because the food's sitting there on the side otherwise. So it may be that if we've got to do the first set later, it may be that we did do a shorter first set, do a slightly longer evening set and go on maybe a little bit earlier. But and that's the other thing. A lot of venues as well, you've got to finish by 11.
Right.
Yeah.
So live music. Sorry, not the whole evening. So it again, it's just about being flexible.
I didn't know that live music has to
in some venues, not always.
Not
always. A lot of them have they don't have necessarily sound limitations, but they do have an 11 o'clock curfew for live music.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do think, unfortunately, that a lot of unfortunately for a lot of venues, most bands or a lot of bands that play at weddings aren't as nice and accommodating as us, and they just think that they're bloody, I don't know, John Bon Jovi, and they can do whatever they want and play whatever volume they want, and then that, it kind of tars us all with a bit of a...
Yeah.
We get that, those photographers, we get the ones that you...
kick off and it's like...
But we had caterers when we played the wedding in France, we had the caterers telling us how nice we were, because the week before, the singer was
demanding entrees and stuff,
kicking off big time because he wanted to play at canapes. And it's apparently it was not doing it. But it's art musicians, they're flaky arty people.
I've seen quite a few. Quite a few bands come in and go, right, what time's food? And it's one of the first questions they ask.
Oh yeah. We've done weddings and they finished all setting up and they're first to the buffet.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
okay, we talk about us. Well,
hide your man. No, but then we've done weddings and we didn't even have food. I think it was about an hour and a half late, and we were like, we're too busy now. We'll just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But no, at one wedding night, they kind of went. They said, "Well, what time are they meant to start?" About 9 o'clock. Their first set. I don't think they started until about 9:45.
Yeah. I think we've had one where it was about 7:30, and me and James are going, first dance roughly 8 o'clock.
Where's the band?
Oh, I hadn't turned up.
Where's the band? They did turn up, but it was a typical farmer's wedding, and they rock up when they want to rock up, basically.
Can never do that, just for our own sense of bloody stress that we just put upon ourselves.
Yeah.
It's mad. Great.
But again, obviously, going back to venues and small spaces, it is, like you say, you're never going to have, if you've got a smallish venue, you're never going to have a 4-piece band and a DJ in one space.
Yeah.
So again, like I say, your USP is, yes, you're a duo, but you sound like a band, and you've got your DJ set. Yeah. So when you are maybe limited on space and things like that, does that work well?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you say, that is kind of our USP, and it also, because of that, a lot of the venues that we get booked at are all of the same sort of size and style. There's bands that you can book a 12-piece show band, but you're not going to get them in some of the venues we play at. And at the same time, if we were to go on stage at some of the venues that they're booked at in London, we'd be lost.
You'd be lost.
Yeah. So
where are they?
It is about knowing what we do well. And again, it goes back to knowing what sort of vibe you're looking for.
Yeah.
So I think we can kind of, because that's what we get booked for a lot, we've got used to being working within those parameters, if you will. So
describe your music. What type of music do you do? Because obviously,
we play all your favourite songs. Basically, we play. We're for lack of a better term, we're a generic wedding band in terms of the songs we play. We play the wedding classics. We play everything you want to hear. We try and cover music for. We're like a.
We are our own genre.
We
don't conform.
We play traditional wedding. We're like generic wedding music. Essentially.
Yeah.
Like we play everything you kind of want to hear. across the board.
Yeah.
But we try and cover what your aunties may like, a bit of everything really.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's, as I say, because it's the duo, like we were saying earlier, we do kind of try and change it a little bit and make it our own, and we do a few medleys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We do a few mashups of, you know, stuff that you wouldn't necessarily expect an acoustic duo to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try and cover all bases really.
There's the thing with music, there's new songs coming out constantly. So if a song just rockets to top of the charts,
but it's funny because we talk about this like it's about this. It's trying to find like new classics, if you will, because like we try and play sing along hits basically. That's our main goal. We want songs that people know well enough that if nothing else they can belt the chorus. And the way music is now is like there is songs like that, like we do Shotgun but that's not even
that's how many years old.
George Ezra's one of my favourites.
So it's like you know there's like we really like so well. I mean I'm speaking both of us, but I know he does. We like Sam Fender and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we've got some really good songs, but they're not quite there yet in terms of
everyone knows
well known enough. Exactly. Yeah. So it's probably a couple of years before they'll potentially be like staples in our sets. But we we do a bit of everything, and we're constantly like adding stuff back in and stuff. Say like we took like Dakota, which is a massively well known song. Like, we took that out for probably 12. We're probably maybe going to introduce that back in, and it's there's so many good songs. It's kind of trying to cycle them and also fit them for the right couples. You know.
Yeah. We've almost. Obviously, there probably is a few more songs out there, but
we've learned every song.
Every song that you probably want to hear that we could fit into 2 45-minute sets
for our style.
Yes,
because there's like there is like some songs like you hear other bands like promo videos and you think that's a song I never thought about, but we couldn't do it any justice.
No,
So, I mean, and we do some pretty out there stuff like, for our style. You wouldn't expect us to do, but there is limitation to that.
The good thing is, it's like, because we know how to, like, because we were in originals bands for ages, pretty good ones, I must say. Like,
not being biased.
No, but like, we know how to write songs and we're not tied to...
Not that well, because we didn't...
we're
not writing songs for a living.
True, but we essentially rewrite the songs that we do perform, and like there's songs like "Wake Me Up," which is like a kind of like it's almost acoustic-y, like by Avicii.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost acoustic-y, but it's also got that like the dance element and what to it, and like Alex plays like a bass solo. Say solo, it's kind of like the lead line, and it's just
trying to emulate.
Yeah, like, but I don't see anyone else would have that kind of nous to probably do it in our situation. In kind of the small limitations we do have, just playing like essentially 2 instruments.
So fundamentally though, that's the criteria we have, is that if it's a big chorus and it's got a good enough sort of momentum to keep
and well known as well. Like I say, there's no point playing songs that people like.
Other songs as well that we could play. Like, I mean, Hey Jude is a prime example where you think, oh, they must do Hey Jude, but we don't do Hey Jude because we play that within our DJ sets, and it's almost too predictable for us to do Hey Jude. The same as like Wonderwall. Like, we sometimes put in Wonderwall depending on the crowd, but in general we don't play that every week.
No, because
it's too predictable, and we do like a little bit of surprise within our sets. That's we've got a thing. We don't really allow the bride and groom to pick the songs for the sets, other than the first dance. They can give us an idea of what they like, but we won't say we will play these exact songs. Because on the night we like to change stuff up. And
because like I say, you don't know if you've got you look into a group of obviously the guests and things like that, and you've got quite a young crowd, you're going to adapt that to suit those people, what you think they like. Or if you've got one song and everyone's on there, and then maybe you play another one, and then it's like people start going, no. Actually, if I play that next song, that will get them back.
And it's like the bride and groom, and again, because you book an acoustic band, you may think, oh well, they'll play Wonderwall really well. Whereas we know that we'll you might look at like songs like Free From Desire and stuff, and you think that's not a band, but because of the way we do it, we know how we can deliver it. So they might not pick that necessarily. Yeah. So we know what we do well, and we like to have the freedom.
And this is it. We've always turned around and said throughout Offset Podcast, and like for us, if you trust your suppliers and you give them sort of free rein as such, yes, you obviously have an input and you say what you like and things like that. But like we was talking to, say if you've got a florist and you go, I don't know everything about flowers, but I like these colour schemes. They can go, actually, I know what would work.
They can point you in that
And it's the same with you guys. So if you go, actually, I like this type of era or those type of artists, you can go, actually, those photos, those songs.
It's just understanding who is there.
Like, and knowing your clients.
Yeah, I mean, my partner's parents went to a wedding literally a week ago. And the DJ was kind of struggling to get everyone kind of dancing, and they requested the song. They said, "Oh, I don't really play that song." He's like, "Okay, can you play it at the end?" Played it at the end, and everyone was on the dance floor. Yeah. It was actually Delilah, Tom Jones, and everyone was on at the end. Yeah. Everyone, because it's a very iconic song with the chorus and everything, and everyone was on, but. Yeah. That's where you kind of got to look. You need to know the crowd you're with.
Well, this is it. We ask in advance as part of our package. We send out a final form. We ask for DJ requests, and we ask for genre preferences. Yeah. And, let us know about you. Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And then on the night we can take requests. But all of those allow us to pick the songs that we know we do well.
If we're under when we started doing weddings, when we were pretty wet behind the ears. We didn't. We just said, "Oh yeah, we'll kind of play whatever you want," and it was just.
This is our song list. Tell us what you want us to play.
Yeah, and when we did play it, because people I don't know, they might go play "She Moves in Her Own Way" by the Kooks. Alex doesn't necessarily play bass in every song. This was just say when we're pretty wet behind the ears,
because of how we played them.
Yeah, it was, and it was just us, and it was kind of it just. But it's if there's a full dance floor, it's but the brides or groomers asked for this song. It's we got to play it, and half the time they're not necessarily there anyways. They won't even hear it.
Yeah. And that's another point with everything as well. Like you say about trusting suppliers. If we, when you talk to a bride and groom, they'll tell us what they want to hear. They'll tell us which is absolutely fine. It's their wedding day. Same with everything.
Yeah.
Photography. These are the sort of photos you want. But with it as a supplier, we know as well. We can incorporate other stuff that we know work well for other people. Yeah. Because as much as the bride and groom will want to hear every song they want to hear, they'll want a full dance floor more.
Yeah.
So to allow us to have the flexibility to play the sort of songs they want to hear, but incorporate songs that will keep everybody entertained. Is half the battle really.
Yeah.
So but that's why you book professionals, because you like you say, you put the trust in them to be able to say, this is what I want, but this is what I want to hear, this is what I want to achieve, and it's finding the balance to make that happen.
And you do this day in, day out. Yeah. And like you say, people will turn around and send us photos. See on Pinterest, I love this photo. And you go, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine, that's what you want.
That's what you want. Problem. We'll do that. Can we put our own spin on that? Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So then we'll do it so that it reflects our work as well.
Yeah.
But
as well as the couple.
Yeah, as well as the couple. So. And in some photos, we've had someone say, can you do this? And I've gone, are you sure? Because that's fine now, but when you've got, in 10 years' time, you'll look back and go, what the hell were we thinking? Mm-hmm. That's again for us, but if they trust us and we say, right, we're going to do this or we'll do this, then they'll go, we know that you can see that vision, and say that you know how to get a crowd going and what songs would work and things like that. So we obviously hear so many DJs. As soon as I can guarantee, I could probably name the DJ's next song after the first dance just by who they are.
Yeah,
and it's quite funny. And obviously they have all their little playlists, and obviously you've got playlists before the first dance, so that literally they're just going play.
Yeah.
And it just plays all the songs, and then obviously first dance they'll have another one, and then obviously when the parties start going they'll do free reign and things like that. And when the food's playing, eating. It's like that's my food playlist.
But again, food. It's a hard one because it's a guarantee. Food will always win on an evening. You know.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to dancing or food will, especially when you've got drunk people, food will always win.
They need food. They need food.
So, and it's about like the second set we always obviously do after that food. And that having a live band does allow you to get the momentum back because it's easily lost. Like some dance floors, like we did one the other night, and it was a really small wedding. There was like 40 people, but they were up for it all night. The dance floor was rammed. They were amazing. Like we could play anything, and they were up for a good time. Yeah. Whereas some dance floors and some groups of people, they need. That's where your professional element comes in, and you have to be able to get the atmosphere back when it needs to be in late.
Yeah.
And I think having a live set after the food definitely does that.
Yeah.
Big style.
But for a DJ, sometimes if they've not got enough information that it can be hard to regain that momentum.
Yeah, definitely.
Afterwards, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a long you don't. I don't think, even though obviously it flies by, I don't think people realise quite how long an evening is. Like if say the first dance starts at 8 o'clock.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's like 4 hours between.
Yeah.
Say you don't have a band.
Yeah.
Like that's 4
That's
hours
part
to
of a
fill.
working day.
Yeah. It's a long
some
time.
people have had have their first dance say 7 o'clock. That's even more time.
Even longer. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
But we kind of like to end the podcast with a bit of advice from you guys on kind of your area of the industry. Of course, that's completely different to us. What is probably the best advice you would definitely give to a couple who are kind of just starting out and looking for a band?
Or think about evening entertainment or
any entertainment in general.
Music-wise.
What's the best advice you'd probably give?
Ours will be the same.
I'd say just book.
Book us.
Book.
Book them.
Yeah. But like, even if it's not us, like, as much as people don't want to believe it, like even if their wedding is in 2025 or 2 or whatever years down the line, even though they think it's miles away, if the supplier's worth their salt, then they're gonna have a lot of bookings already then. So if their date is free, it doesn't mean at that moment and they've inquired, it doesn't mean it's going to stay free. It's like if you find somebody, like, just get them booked in, peace of mind, done, and you've got who you want instead of
we're going
to redo that.
We're going to have to redo that. Dad's just kind of ruined that, hasn't he?
No worry.
It's okay.
John's happy to see the dogs.
Yeah, man.
I think you should just end on that. End on the dogs.
End on the dog running. This should just happen.
You literally jumped right at the end then.
I didn't do nothing.
I know.
I didn't
Didn't you have the door shut?
He would scratch at the door anyway, and you can hear the door opening and shutting. So.
Hello.
That's Dennis.
You all
Don't-
clear?
Do you
No,
want to go and take them?
Oh, it's behind the door.
Cameras, just go and take them out. James,
Let's go take
go
a
get
walk
because he needs
quickly.
food.
Nice humping.
He's aluminium food.
Oh, is he?
No.
Just
It's been your mum. You've been to your mum's. Yeah, I bet he's been
It's
to.
in the car.
Oh, okay then.
All right, keep her there.
Right, yeah.
Don't need Nan coming in.
So finish make top tip.
Yeah, so we always kind of end the podcast on kind of top tip. So the best top tip you could probably give, best bit of advice you can give to a couple kind of starting out who are looking for kind of a band, live music, or even obviously DJ, any kind of entertainment. What would be the best kind of advice you'd give?
Yeah, I'd say definitely book as early as possible. As I say, like if people getting married in 2 years' time and they think it's a million miles away, it soon comes round and everyone books up 2 years, maybe 3 years in advance sometimes. So if you find a band or it goes for any supplier, like,
Find somebody you like.
Find somebody you like and you want them. Don't let anything stop you from booking just because you think your wedding is a long, long time away. It gets everything done. Your peace of mind is sorted, and say, like, if they're available at that time, it doesn't mean they'll stay available.
Yeah.
Chances are they won't stay available, especially if it's like a key date. Talking like a Friday or a Saturday in the summer. Get it locked in.
And just make sure that you like what they do and that you've got a good relationship with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
if on the day, it's a long day to spend with somebody.
We can answer a million questions on anything. I think we could, in terms of
Lottery numbers.
Maybe not that one, but but so
it's a long day to spend with somebody if you've not got a good relationship with them. So.
Which also helps booking so far in advance, because then
You've got time to
You've
build
got time to build
it.
Yeah. Like, we sometimes play publicly every now and again, and if like you want to come and see us beforehand, which like some people do, like you can.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you don't change your mind thereafter. But but yeah, like I say, book as early as you can is my best advice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to be working with each other throughout the year anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing you then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Take
Thanks
care.
very much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
That's it. Thank you for listening to the JOL Wedding Podcast. Share this podcast with anyone you know who is on the journey of planning a wedding. Check out other episodes of this podcast as well as links to our social media platforms at the JOL Wedding Podcast.